But first of all, I want to thank you, everyone. My name is Sophia Leva-Marie with Nurturing Divine Beauty. I am a fertility shaman for all those who want to conceive of and receive a child, a business, or yourself as more divine. And I wanted to bring this together for a really important reason. It actually started with a vision a few months ago. It was actually in a very still period, such as the whole world is going through now. And I received a vision, and it was an eye, kind of looked like the eye of Ra. And there were words around it: heart sight, eyesight, insight, and sight. Also the words master, seer, knower, and tongue. And I wanted to paint this. I did not have paint, so I took a beautiful white scarf that my friend had, and we really just drew it out with gel pens. And then I meditated with it and started to ask, what is this? Why is this coming to me? What is it? And that's really what today is about, because there's a principle that where two or more are gathered, their spirit is. And that's what we wanted to do on this beautiful 444 portal, activating a frequency of light and crystalline energy. I wanted to bring together some friends that would embody this energy. And it went further as I meditated with this, about speaking as the intuitive eye, hearing as the intuitive eye, knowing as the intuitive eye, becoming a master of the intuitive eye. And still in the question of this, a question came to me: are you ready to co-create the new horizon? And it was a really important question, and one I sat with, and one that I didn't have the pieces for. And then a global event happened with the coronavirus, and the pieces started to come together, that we are needed to look at the new horizon. Because when you're creating anything, it's about what you're looking to rather than what you're looking at. And so I wanted to gather some of the most brilliant intuitive people that I happen to be honored to have in my life, and ask them their version of what is the new horizon intuitively for them, and what is the gift for humanity. Because really that is what we're being asked of. I've been blessed to be here in Hawaii, and I've been studying whales especially. And a really interesting piece is mother whales, when they're ready to feed their young, they invert. So their head goes towards the floor of the ocean, excuse me, as well as their tail goes towards the top of the ocean, or towards the sky. This is so the young can come closer. So as I was meditating with this, the whole world has inverted. It's turned upside down. So we can come closer to knowing who we are, closer to our choices, closer to our divinity, and closer to claiming our sovereignty and what we're actually choosing. And that's what this is about, claiming the new horizon, what we are here to invite in. And by speaking this into existence on this powerful day, we're anchoring this in light, and we're anchoring this for humanity. So I just want everyone to take a breath with that. And I just really want to thank you for showing up here, because there's a million things going on today and you could be anywhere. And yet you decided to come here to anchor in this light, as did these beautiful friends of mine that have come to share their intuitive vision. So just thank yourself for coming, because you're here anchoring the light and making a choice to create what we're truly desiring. Because this, what has happened in the world, is truly a gift for humanity. And we are here to stand together, because together, that's how we rise. Together, that's how we co-create this new horizon. So I just want to start. We're going to start with these beautiful emissaries of light that have come together and said yes. The first one is Shalayana, and she is actually a beautiful sonic priestess and healer with the musical energies and frequencies. And she's going to share that energy to acclimate our bodies and to invite these energies as we're going into the energy of the new horizon. So if you would unmute, my love, and we would be happy to receive.
Aloha.
Aloha.
So yes, my name is Shalayana. Some of you may know me as Beverly. And I'm going to open up this space by playing some of the crystal bowls. I'm not entirely sure that the sound is going to come across audibly through your ears. However, the frequency is, we know that there's no time and no space. And this kind of frequency, obviously, is, we are all quantum. So you will be able to pick up the frequencies of the quantum wave as it comes through. So just allow yourself to breathe and relax. Tapping into your feet. And then sending your energy right down through your feet, from your heart, into the earth. So sending your energy deep, 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 deep down. Feeling it like roots, like you've got roots underneath your feet, and you're sending your energy deep down, down, down to the earth. And noticing at the center of the earth, there's an iron core crystal. Connecting into that core crystal, it looks like a 12-pointed star. And draw that energy of that iron core crystal. It's like a silvery blue frequency, like an aqua blue mixed with different pearlescent blue colors. It's a mixture of a few different shades of blue. And draw that energy right up into your heart. Connecting in with the Divine Mother frequency, connecting in with the divine love that you are. And notice that this iron frequency is activating every single one of your blood molecules, is activating the iron in your blood molecules. So that is how you are connected to the Mother on an atomic level, through your iron in your blood. The same energy that runs through your blood is the same energy that runs through. And draw that energy once again with the in-breath. Breathe it up into your heart and expand it all around your body. Beautiful. Allow that to settle in your heart. Noticing that you have this beautiful, pearlescent, silvery blue aqua frequency in your heart. Then take another deep breath. And send your energy up through your crown. And dive through the sun. Imagine you're connecting in through the sun. And as you dive through the sun, you notice there's a portal that takes you through, and you see the great central sun in front of you. And now dive straight into that great central sun. Projecting your consciousness through the great central sun. And connecting with that gold yellow frequency, the Divine Father frequency, the masculine frequency. And breathe that energy down, 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 down through your crown and into your heart. This golden yellow frequency. Connecting the blue frequency from the earth and the golden yellow frequency from the sun in your heart. And these two frequencies combine into a figure 8, an infinity sign. And they start to spin together. Now take a deep breath into the center of this infinity sign. Deep breath in. And notice at the center, there's this beautiful pink crystal. This is your beautiful crystalline heart. This is the center of your universe. This is where your beautiful crystalline self, your beautiful soul resides. Tap into this pearlescent pink crystal. Dive deep, 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 where all the answers are, where all the questions are, where all the love is, where all the joy is, where all the freedom is, where all the light is. And feel, 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 feel. That you're surrounded by infinite space. The space of your heart, the space of love, the space of truth. This is what is real. This is what is true. And it is you. The I am that I am is the I am that you are. Right here and right now. Beyond definition, beyond time, beyond space. In this here and now moment of love.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And as we take in that harmonic energy that Shalayana shared with us, next we'll go to Shakti Kimaya, who's an international luminary, a chaos whisperer, and a facilitator, intuitive, and master life coach to ignite personal, business, and financial awakening.
Aloha. That was yummy. Thanks, Beverly. That was so yummy. I received it all. Before we begin, did you want to record this? It's not recording.
Yes. Yes. Backups. Yes.
Great. So today, what I feel called to share is a lot about standing in your potency and showing up and showing up and showing up and showing up and what it means to show up. And what I feel like with the chaos right now that's happening in the world, a lot of chaos. And it's not a wrongness, it's just chaos. It's a lot of bumping particles and the infrastructure is just going. And so we have a choice to show up. We have a choice to go and retreat inside. There's a lot being projected out and there's a lot of confusion. There's so much information that there is no one path that makes sense to most people if they haven't practiced a foundation in their life. And so it's really, I think, one of the biggest messages that I feel is important for people that don't have a direction. I think the direction should be inside, to expand inside so that you can have space. And so I've been doing a lot of tools about space and making space. And when you make the space, the ripples, the magic and the miracles can come through, and then you being the invitation to that can then ripple out to the people around you. And so I've had a lot of people that I've been working with lately talking about, you know, the obstacles that are in their way to showing up. And so what does showing up look like? And how do I show up? And the biggest obstacle is the mind. The mind is in the way. You're in the way. Our points of view are in the way. And when we ask the question and be curious and find the space of allowance, then truly the magic can arise within you. The wisdom can arise. But in order to do that, you have to be in the question of what sparks you, what lights you up. And so, like, I gave an example the other day of someone holding a match. I said, you can hold that match and you can wish it to light, but without striking it, without the action that you take, it will never light. So if you are called to action, be the striking action that's required to ignite that spark so that you can arrive at what it means for showing up. And the biggest piece that I see unfolding in the next months to come is the vulnerability that's going to arise. There's going to be vulnerability of people coming back together at some point, the vulnerability of what it means to have to be isolated for so long, the vulnerability of retreating inside. And so being in vulnerability is often misidentified as weakness and judgment. But true vulnerability, if you look at it, is surrendering. It's surrendering in a moment, and it's an allowance. And it's creating, it's like this triangulation of surrendering to the potency of you. So I've been using this really great example of when you do yoga and you're meeting yourself. There's no one else to meet. You're meeting yourself. You come to your edge and you sit with it, and you either berate yourself and you judge yourself and you give the negative self-talk, whether it be I should have done this sooner, or I'm not flexible enough, or your mind is racing and there isn't, or you're just crying and you're crying and you're crying. When you meet yourself where you're at without judgment, if you give the surrender to the moment you're in the space of melting into what you can be in that moment, that's true vulnerability. And that's you showing up for you. And so as you show up for you more and more and more, you begin to a little bit by a little bit expand in your own faith of what meaning it and trusting yourself and being aligned with yourself and being in the allowance of what arises. There may be emotions that arise, and there may be space that arise. It's like truly 10-second living at its best. And every day, you know, just like the weather changes, your mood changes, your emotions change. And you may be blue one day, and you may be high the next day, and you might be feeling great. And then you might be feeling like, be surfing the wave of these emotions and meeting yourself in that surrender and in that vulnerability so that you can begin to learn what it means to show up. And as you practice that, as you come to other people, you give the permission to other people to then be that for themselves so that they can start expanding in their own vulnerability and being in the surrendering in that moment so that they can then practice it and ripple it up to the people around them. And as we melt into this space, we are uplifting and we are inspiring others to create the same expansion for themselves. And so
thank you, Shakti Kimaya.
that's kind of what's been up in my world.
Thank you so much for inviting us into being with ourselves, that vulnerability, and showing up for ourselves.
You're welcome.
Next, we're going to connect to Trisha McCannon. She's a mysteries expert, a renowned clairvoyant, author, historian, symbologist. She's a reverend in the International Assembly of Spiritual Healers and a bishop in the Madonna Mysteries.
Hi, everyone. And first, I just want to say that what Shakti shared was so beautiful. And that sound meditation, which I know you didn't get to record, that Beverly shared at the beginning, was so beautiful. And, you know, I'm reminded of a saying that my dear friends Colin and Joanne Tipping, Colin passed this past summer, but for 30 years, they've had the Radical Forgiveness Institute, and they teach my strength is in my vulnerability. And so it's very much to underscore what you were saying. Um, Gosh, you know, there is so much to say about this time. Goodness gracious. So let me just jump in. Uh, as many of you may know, you know, I'm a clairvoyant. I've probably read for 6,000 people around the world, and a healer, hypnotherapist, and writer, and all that stuff. But I'm also an astrologer. And what's happening astrologically right now is really quite extraordinary. And I want to speak to that. Today we have a conjunction of Pluto and Saturn at 24 degrees of Capricorn. Exactly, both of them. And when we look at the archetypes of what these planets are, these are archetypes that live in the mind of God, they live in the cosmos, they live inside of you and me. Saturn represents structure, he's the lord of time. He represents the patriarchy, he represents government, he represents corporations, he represents, you know, the structure of money and all that business that kind of holds the scaffolding of the world and the business world. Pluto represents life and death and rebirth. Okay, so this is a very big deal. Now, just to kind of back up, this started last year. It started in 2019, and we had these two planets, these two lords. It's the, you know, there's the Lord of Light, Jupiter, who's also in the picture now. He wasn't last year. The Lord of the secular world, that's Mr. Saturn, and the Lord of the underworld, that's Mr. Pluto, who goes down and shows us our shadows and says, let me show you where you lost your power. Let me help you get your power back. That's what Pluto's about. So most people are scared of Pluto, like, oh my God, the Lord of the underworld. But he's really trying to help us to get our power back, to raise us to a higher level of love. That's what Pluto's really about. So he's like Kali, or the Shakti energy. It's life and death, and it's a rebirth into a new cycle. So last year we had a real challenge. We had the South Node, which takes 18 years to go all the way around the whole wheel, jammed between these two giants. Okay, so all last spring and all last summer, it was kicking our rear ends. It was like a boulder lodged in the path of where we wanted to go, but we couldn't get there. It was like duty, responsibility, mamma mia, you know, it was a lot. Finally, South Node has moved off, and it goes opposite. The planets kind of go forward, the nodes go backwards. So now the South Node's like at, I don't know, 6 degrees of Capricorn or something like that. So thank God. But Jupiter came into the mix. Jupiter came into the mix on December 26th, my birthday, where we had a solar eclipse. And that, whenever that happens, which only happens once every 18 years, it always presages some kind of big international disaster. Last time it was the World Trade Centers blew up, okay, or were taken down, or however we want to view whatever happened there. This time, here's the pandemic. Thankfully, it's only once every 18 years. Why is it like that with the South Node? In Vedic astrology, it's called Ketu. That's what that's called. And the North Node is Rahu. Rahu is where we're trying to go to. Ketu is what's stopping us from getting there. So when Jupiter hits it, as you can imagine, it magnifies a problem at a very big level. Now, according to the Vedic astrologers, and you can Google this Vedic astrologer who talks about this, he only speaks in Hindi, but there's subtitles in English. He's on YouTube, and he says that the South Node will move out of Capricorn altogether right around the end of April, the beginning of May. So we're hoping that there's going to be a little bit of an easement or a solution or something found to the pandemic at a physical level. But what's happening for us now is Mr. Jupiter, the Lord of Light, the Lord of the secular world, and the Lord of life and death and transformation, they're all lined up together. And that's going to be going on all year long. So Saturn moves forward into Aquarius in the end of April and beginning of May. Yay, so glad. Restructure into a new age. But then it goes retrograde in June. So all summer long, it's going to come back and say restructure of the government, restructure of the money, restructure of your system. How do you want to change the world? How do we want to change our lives? How do we want to change the monetary systems? How do we want to change the restructuring of the wealth, or the restructuring of choosing jobs that we love? I mean, we are all doing stuff we love, but there are many people out there that are not doing stuff they love. They're stuck in little cubicles, you know? So I think this is a great timeout. It's a timeout for the earth to replenish. It's spring here in Atlanta. That's where I live. I just potted my little patio plants. The birds are so happy. I sat out there today. There was like no noise, no traffic, I mean, it was just peaceful. It was like the whole world is taking a breath. We're all taking a moment to say, you know, who am I? Where do I want to be? Am I where I want to be? Is there something else for me? What is my purpose? Why did I incarnate onto this planet at this time? And so we're getting this great time out, and the earth is getting a break from all the crazy humans running around, polluting the rivers, polluting the water, polluting. You know, we're just so terrible. We're like naughty children, you know? And so I think it's actually
wonderful.
Good.
I was just going to say, it is a wonderful timeout, and we'll actually get to go further into this. We're going to do breakout sessions during the month of April, so you'll get to
no
hear
problem at
more.
all. Thank you all so much for joining us. And I know you're going to use this time in transformation, and I'm talking about the outer stuff, but Shakti was talking about the inner stuff. And that's a lot of what we need to do with this time out. So anyway, thank you for giving me a chance to speak to it, Sophia.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Trisha. And the next we'll have is Claudio Garate. He's a powerful fire keeper. And he's a Chilean-born medicine musician, an earth wisdom carrier, and a bridge to weave the indigenous teachings into our modern society. So we can allow Mother Earth to sing through him and what wants to come through. Thank you, Claudia.
Hi, Sophia.
Hello.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this invitation, a special invitation for sharing the feelings around the world and inside me, and see around my brothers and sisters. And my first question is, how minutes?
How much time should we dedicate to sharing our part?
About 5 minutes. Yeah.
Okay. Arrow now. Yeah, I think it's just the now and this time is, I know it's the humanidad. Humanity have the big possibility for sharing different things, and beautiful expression for the Mother Earth. You know, example in my country, the condor is down to the city, the pumas is walking in the city, in Galapagos the party turtles, and in Argentina is the deers, all deers is living in the streets. But see, the beautiful and true signals the Mother Earth for what happened in humanity, you know, for take the space. Don't forget the human construction around the all natural, all this vibration, take this space. Now, my vision is, well, you have the possibility to transform your life now. Take your time, use your energy. You have the possibility to explore all your faces, your angry face, your happy, your sadness, all your face living in you all the time. You now have the time. You all the time stay occupied in this life. For now, also living and making money, make different things. The people is I know, and really support all the people feel fear and stay in dark space for really understand all sides. All the people is different, and respect the social distance and all the rules created in this world now. For all is possibility. I think is now is the time for think is the know the people is in the stress for field have the tools for elevated vibration, but have many possibilities now to stay in your home with your family and take your time, listen your silence, listen your body, listen your real time, and really feel the real time in your life, and stop the old time. This is my grandfather say. And my experience in the Vision Quest in the mountain, you climbing the mountain for 4, 9, and 7 days and 30 days and 4 years, and no food, no water, and stay in silence and connect with your soul. For 3 days, your mind stay crazy, create all your remembers in your life. In one moment, it's magical. In the 4th day, your mind is in silence and open and see the different details exist in life. Now is the possibility to see these details inside. Really open your eyes and see what happened around you, what happened in your family, in the nature, in the ocean. Thank you for your explaining this the beautiful whales in the ocean have the babies. This is exactly the point to really observe in you what is the balance. You take the signals to nature, and it's the time for change the worst and all is bad. Is no, you have all possibility for change the real life. Received the last night the message the grandmother Mapuche, this original people in my country in Chile, they say now is the como growing the specific flower in my land, specific flower can never grow it, and this is the big signal for these people for the change the world. She say, really, I know the older people is not stay prepared, they stay prepared in this time, but this is not true. Estamos? We are prepared for this. Really, we are prepared. You only need remember your really connection. You come to do the un vientre. The womb. You come to the womb or your mother. This is the relation with your nature, with the Mother Earth. It's the same. It's the magical free. Now it's prepared. You need only stay in silence and listen and see more deep, the leaves, see more deep the ocean. For all people take this space and vacations. And this moment is stop and is happy. For all the year is stressing. For now, for all the world have this possibility. All the world need this change, and really pray for you. Really, I think all the time for the people not have house, no have water, no have food, and really exist other reality. So to take your reality, you just lucky person. You have divine things in your life, and take this and really listen your silence and gentles and magical space living in you, and really take this possibility for clean your history and your family. You understand all your life and what is your big purpose in this moment.
Yes,
What is your purpose in the life?
it
Thank
is
you
the
so
time.
much.
Thank you so much, Claudia. I so appreciate that. And Juliana, we'll come back to you.
But I'm right here.
I know. Yes. Yes. If you wish, since you are right here, why don't you go ahead, Juliana? Juliana is another shamanic sound alchemist, wellness educator, and he supports creative and entrepreneurs to awaken their inner guidance to integrate their soul gifts in a practical way.
Aloha, family. Mahalo, Sophia, for choosing to receive and to birth this opportunity for us to connect with each other in a good way, to co-create this space where we can weave our hearts together and feel what is wanting to be birthed through us at this time as children of the universe, children of the earth, children of the planet, and how we can support our mother at this time, and how we can support our brothers and sisters at this time as a global family. I feel very grateful to be in a community-based living space here in this Hawaiian Islands where since the beginning it has been vital to have a community that is well connected with each other. And this is something that is still felt here to this day. And honoring that we're being asked to keep a sort of a physical distance from each other, which I've been hearing so many different perspectives about this, but always choosing to see what is the blessing in this, learning how we can relate with each other in a new way, because we're entering a new time. This has never happened before. In my lifetime, at least. I'm a bit younger. And just honoring what's coming through us, you know, like many of you have touched upon, this is a time of pause. So for us to take advantage that we have this opportunity and to stay in this simplicity, even if our mind might go absolutely nuts the first few days, the first few weeks, to be in this space of gentleness with ourselves, to whatever comes through us, whatever it might be, anxiety, irritability, you just want to get outside of your house, you know? This is all normal. We have the opportunity to see clearly, if we choose, the patterns within us that are not in harmony with our individual well-being. And of course, this can get expressed outwardly into the collective well-being. So taking time to love ourselves, taking time to notice where are the opportunities for alignment, for attunement, for recalibration in ourselves, noticing thought patterns, points of view, noticing behavior patterns, noticing emotional patternings, even getting to know our physical body a bit better, getting to connect deeper with this multi-dimensional aspect of yourself. And there's just so much beauty, really, truly. There's a treasure awaiting each and every one of us in these times of alchemy. And to remember that it's a lot simpler than we think. There have been so many systems created that have overcomplicated life. And in this time where we take a pause, there's really not much we can do outside of our home. So when we tune in to this inner simplicity, we really do get the chance to reorient and reprioritize. What is it that we value? How is it that we're wanting to use our time and our energy as art? What is it that we're wanting to create? And being really honest with ourselves, because it can be challenging some moments, absolutely. But even in these moments that can seem like challenges, there's still opportunities to receive a gift, to receive an understanding, to expand our perspective, to get to know ourselves a bit more, to get to know our inner working a bit more, for our own benefit, for the benefit of the collective, of our community, so that we can fully take advantage of this great gift that has been bestowed upon us. And we can remember that it is what it is, but we are alchemists. We can choose to be energetic shepherds, if you will, and direct our individual and the energy of the collective in a certain direction for the benefit of humanity. Aho.
Thank you. Yes, we have a choice. Big choice point for us. So the next beautiful share will actually be from Tanya Lewis. She's an international success mentor who helps heart-centered entrepreneurs, coaches, and visionaries live a rich, life-giving business and God-purpose legacy now.
Sorry, loves. Hello, my loves. I have just been sitting here being so blessed. And something that I was thinking about before I even start to share some of what's on my heart is the fact that I also realize that while we talk about all these beautiful things and the opportunities that are unfolding and all the opportunities for becoming, I really do want to honor each of you who may really be suffering. You know, there's been so much suffering in regard to loss, and there's been so much suffering in regard to the loss of life, as well as the loss of life as it's been, the loss of income, the loss of jobs or careers or businesses as we've known it, and even just the lifestyle that you're so conditioned to living. And so, you know, I think when we hear all this beauty, there is the reality that I just feel like you just need to be seen and honored. And I do truly honor each of you that have taken the time to come forth today and really listen and seek that you'll have whatever it is that you came for. You can see by just the beauty of this gorgeous, diverse circle, the opportunity to extract from each person and each gifting something for you and for your transformation and a path out of suffering. But I just really was feeling that, like there's sometimes just such heartbrokenness, and I really myself feel for you and wherever you find yourself. And Sophia, thank you so much, darling, for being so faithful and so connected to your own intuition to really take the time to create this gorgeous circle, and for all the people that you felt were a part of this vision. So I just adore you, darling. You're always so about this healing and this goodness. And I think that that is the through line that we're all going to hear in the many ways that we'll say it, is that there is a gorgeous opportunity. In spite of, I myself have a father who's in the hospital right now on life support. And, you know, just as some of my brothers and sisters have spoken to, there is a life-death cycle. And I am still believing for my dad's complete healing. But what I do know in my own loss and in my own scenarios of loss and change of life is that there is a light, and there's always an evolution that comes after there's the death of something. So right now we're seeing the deconstruction of systems and structures and foundations that have had infrastructural cracks for a long time. And the beauty in everything that's falling away is that everything that's meant to remain is gonna remain, and in more potency. And everything that is yet to be created has to be created on this new foundation. And it is that reconnection. That's the one thing that I'm sensing, is that really, when it's all said and done, everything is about a return to love. This is about returning to love in its purest form, in the way that we've denied it, in the way that we move through our society as a norm. And there's an opportunity to really connect to the divine love, the reconnection to the earth, as we've heard so much about, all of the pure, natural, and original things that have been here supporting us and loving us and caring for us since time began. And I think that there's just such a beautiful opportunity to connect to our hearts and allow what's really true for us. There's been so many of you and so many of us that in different ways have been in obscurity up until now. And this transformation and this shift is calling us forth. It's calling to the deeper parts of us, to be the voices that we're meant to be, to lead in a new way, and to really genuinely connect to our own royal inheritance. Because we've gotten it wrong about what's really true about us and humanity. And there's a return to love, which means a return to truth. And our truth is what's really going to give us the freedom to create from a space of light and a space of power and a space of connection that goes way beyond all this stuff that's divided us. And I think that we're going to really see a healing, because right now, everything that we've hoped in, we're really getting the true message that what we have is divine, that our source is divine. And from my own personal belief, the way that I know the love of God is that when everything hits the fan and when everything else goes away, it's us being able to return to the fact that we're kept and that we actually are divine, and that we have a divine keeping and a divine path that's already open for us if we'll take it. And at this time, that's in a time of so much disconnection and so much division, we're also going to unite in an entirely different way, because we're going to see how much we need each other, how vital we are, and how essential we are to the flow of our planet. And that means that we have to be united, and we have to look past differences, and we have to see the gloriousness and the divinity in everyone, in spite of how different we may be and how different we may believe. And so I think that this is really actually going to be such a beginning of love like we've never known it, because love is going to cast out fear. Love is going to give us the cues to do what is next. And we're not going to need to know everything. We're going to stay right in the unfolding and in the beauty of what we're led to divinely. So I'm just excited for what's possible through all that needs to be cleansed and needs to be purged. And I'm excited to see the people and the newness and this higher level of just using our voices and our giftings and going into the things that we've been afraid to do because it's necessary, and really creating a dynamic legacy with the lives that we have. So I'm really, really grateful. And I'm so honored even today just to have a voice in any way to encourage and illuminate some of the darker places that everyone might feel that you're in. And I just want you to know that personally, I'm praying for the entire world and praying for you right where you are, dear soul, for every single one of you that showed up today. I love you. And if no one has said it, you better know it's true. Like, you are so divinely loved. You're so divinely cherished. And I'm keeping you in my heart. And I love you, Sophia, and I love all of you that have shown up today with your gifts and all that you're bringing to the table today, the beautiful virtual royal table.
Thank you so much, Tanya, for really, again, pointing the spotlight back to love, which is truly where we all need to go. And again, thank you for showing up despite what's going on in your personal life, that you still choose to lead, and that everyone who showed, we're choosing to lead no matter what's going on in our personal lives. So thank you for that, and much love.
Much love to you too, girl.
And the next contributor we're going to hear her beauty from is Melissa Bradley. She's a magical life coach, speaker, and transformational leader whose passion and mission is about seeing women reach their highest, happiest, and healthiest by expressing their true nature.
Oh, that was so cool. I'm really touched to be here, and I echo everything that's been shared here, and that thread of this return to love, right? Return to our true nature, our true essence. And we've all been invited home. Yes. I mean, in every way, when the government's inviting you to stay home, there's something really big and juicy going. So this is like epic. And we all knew the awakening was coming. We've been praying for this for probably eons, and it is here now. And we are here now. And so I was walking on the earth, on Mama Earth, a couple days ago. It was sunset, and my feet were on the grass, and just feeling the coolness of that green grass on my feet. And the light was lit in a way as I had never seen it before. This beautiful glow. And the cat that I love to play with, Tiggy Max, was on the grass with me. And it was so surreal. It was so sweet. It was so soft. And to echo what's been said here too, it reminded me of that sweet simplicity that we all are truly. We are that simplicity of life itself flowing through us in every moment that we get to cherish, that we get to enjoy, that we get to share with others. And in that, I felt so home. I thought, wow, we were invited to stay home. Imagine that. And at this time where so many are being, feeling forced into their homes, and to look at everything, what's in the closet, what's underneath the bed, what's in the cabinets, what have I not wanted to look at for so long? Because all of us here know that what we're willing to look at, we can set free. And what we resist and keep shutting the door on keeps on showing up. So what a massive invitation orchestrated by the divine for all of us to truly, truly come home. And I would invite everyone that what you're willing to look at is just love. That there's just more love, and there's more love, and there's more love. And as she beautifully expressed, we're going into deeper, deeper, deeper levels of love and light and magic and joy and abundance, that which we already are, that which is our true nature. And we're letting go of everything that we're not, that we've never been, that we could ever be. So it really is this true invitation home into the heart, into the being, into playing in heaven while on earth, for there is nothing that we are waiting for any longer. And I would invite us all to hold in our hearts that we are already home. We are already in that heaven that lives here and breathes here through Mother Earth. And so I am excited too, and I am grateful to be co-creating and playing with each of you in these new epic times that are unfolding as we speak, in the moment. What miraculous beings we are. And we are the gift. Each one of you are the gift, and it's all in you already. It's already there. So as it was said earlier too, dive into that treasure chest of the gift that you are, that's already in you. Enjoy the stillness, enjoy the quietness, enjoy the silence within, and allow that to emerge through you and be embodied so fully. Claim it, proclaim it for yourself. And as you do, everybody around you benefits, your family, your community, your friends, the whole entire planet benefits when you claim your true nature, when you claim the love that you are, when you claim your truth. So I have never been more excited in my life as I am in this moment of right here and right now. And I just so infinitely grateful to be here with each of you. And thank you so much for holding this beautiful space. And I love you all, and wish you just beautiful, epic journeys onward and upward. Aho.
Thank you, Melissa, for so beautifully pointing out that each of us has a place. There's a biblical scripture in Esther that keeps running through my head multiple times. And it said, you were made for a time such as this. So it doesn't matter if we're up here on the gallery, it doesn't matter if you're watching, it doesn't matter if you don't see this and are just feeling the energies. Each of us is here for a reason in this time, and it's time for us to all stand up for the love that we are. So the next connection to the light that we're going to reach for is Camille Moritz. She's a revelator of light, activator, way shower, psychic, crystal healer, and she's a channel for the Divine Mother and the Karmic Board of Record Keepers. Thank you, Camille.
Aloha.
Aloha.
So through the power of the one heart in me, I would bring forward the wisdom I am guided to share today. And the Spirit appointed me a representative of the Karmic Board of Record Keepers in a way to teach the rays that all humans are each a hue of the one white light. And through the power of the one heart, the one love, the one truth, and the one ascension of Mother Earth and the universe, each human is their own individualized, unified, free, sovereign expression of God, Goddess, their own color of the rainbow. And we need all the hues to have the one love, the one light. And as every beautiful speaker here is bringing forward their messages of light and truth, I would like to add that a very simple way for us to be heart-centered and to move into that knowing of our self-love and acceptance is to just place our hand on our heart when we're speaking and sharing, because it automatically unifies the multidimensional body. The goddesses of the record keepers wanted me to speak a little bit about their messages. And so at this time on the planet, each human is waking up to be their higher self in this temporary human form, as we are each eternal souls experiencing a temporary human form. And through the Ray One, which is the great divine director, what we know is that karma repeats itself. And in our life, the repetitive experience of suffering and pain will happen until each human takes back their power to claim free will and becomes the great divine director of their life. So I encourage you to direct your day, direct your week, direct your relationships by just thanking your higher self for bringing forward the freedom, the love, the truth, the well-being, and the good in every experience. It's very simple. All you have to do is say, thank you, higher self, for the love I have today. Thank you, higher self, for the peace I have today. And by taking back your power to be a co-creator being, we must claim free will, because many souls are under the illusion that they know what free will is, but they're not aware that they're being bound to a place without it. So just claiming our free will is very important. In Ray 2, this is the goddess of liberty, and it is very important to recognize that all is liberated in light, all is healed in light, and all is revealed in light. And through this pandemic, when a human begins to proclaim that light, 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 light is produced in the center of my bones and radiates from every atom and cell of my body, then that turns on the gold within your system, restoring the golden age of enlightenment, and basically allows you to walk through the fire of man unscathed with the fire of God at the center of your bones, because every human is a being of light. And the more you affirm your light and create that light, the greater your ability to work through the chaos of the days that are ahead of us. In Ray 3, only love is real. We know that all is one and one is all. And when we say yes to our Sacred Heart desires, our Sacred Heart is the Ascension Temple. We're saying yes to the one ascension of Mother Earth and to the many hues of the rainbow. So please be open to going into your Sacred Heart and asking what your Sacred Heart guidance is, because we are updating all of our self-governing structures, and our knowing comes through our heart, not our mind. In Ray 4, we have Cyclopeia, and this is the ascension flame that is activated in the root chakra. And in this place, out of chaos comes order. And our purpose as co-creator beings, walking hand in hand and co-creating with the spiritual hierarchy and our brothers and sisters of light, is to create harmony everywhere we experience conflict. And the ease of doing that is just by proclaiming it. So through the power of the spoken word, you have the power to say no to chaos, to suffering. And you have the power to say yes and choose and create order and wellness by saying, thank you, higher self, for the order I experienced today. And only order works through my life. And divine love is activated in me and my life and my relationships and others. So working with the Immaculate Concept, where each individual holds the thought form of purity for and on behalf of another. This is a very important process because all humans are one. And when we judge another, we're judging ourselves. So it's very important to have unconditional regard and acceptance for others. And through the power of the spoken word, the sacred science of manifestation is the bridge of light, where we're bringing the maximum amount of our higher self down through our physical being. This is a collective mass monadic integration for Mother Earth and all beings, meaning your cosmic consciousness and the 12 solar hyphae, the 12 psychic antenna, want to turn on so that you have your cosmic wisdom. It is your birthright to remember all your previous lifetimes, human and non-human, including your star being lifetimes. And many of those cosmic consciousness lifetimes as angels or star beings are wanting to sit in your body and take up your vessel to co-create heaven on earth and restore the divine plan in the now. When we move into Ray 6, we're working with divine justice. There is no opportunity. Without opportunity, justice is not real. So we want to take back our power to experience multiple answers, solutions, ways demonstrating themselves to us through our own sacred heart knowing. And if there is no choice, it is not just. So we want to activate the justice and ask for it to be restored on planet Earth and to every individual that there is. In Ray 7, we have to give ourselves permission to forgive ourselves and to forgive others, because now is the time of the transfiguration. Whatever you're storing in your unconscious self is manifesting in your outer life as chaos. When you acknowledge the way you feel, then you immediately are in the process of transmuting those emotions. We've been taught for so long to acknowledge our emotions. So it's so important for us to acknowledge how we feel so that we are the only ones within. We need to take back our power to be free and sovereign, individualized sovereign aspects of source in temporary human forms. And freedom and sovereignty is very important. Mother Earth is intended to be a free, sovereign being. She is taking back her rightful place as the divine in form, the fifth dimensional planet, but basically, which doesn't mean she's 5 dimensions. It means it's the divine plan on Mother Earth as heaven on earth. In Ray 8, we're beginning to restore the golden age of enlightenment. And this is where we recognize that in the 12 rays, the grids were corrupted on planet Earth. And so we have created upgraded crystalline grids of light in the 13th dimension. And every human has the power and opportunity to unplug their solar plexus from the corrupted grids in the 12th dimension and replug into the upgraded crystalline grids in the 13th dimension of heaven on earth. Every human is inherently worthy and originally innocent. And we are taking back our power to be the stewards of heaven on earth. And I just want to finish with an affirmation that is what I think is happening on the planet and in our universe at this time. And you're welcome to say it under your breath with me as we do this. And it would say that we accept our stewardship as gods and goddesses co-creating the divine blueprint of the highest intended good for Mother Earth and all she embodies, taking back all our divinely intended birthrights and sacred power to give birth to new forms freely through the power of the spoken word, right action aligned with divine will. All beings are safe, protected, and secure through divine assurance of God's eternal peace, establishing divine fellowship where each being lifts the other in reverence, esteem, praise, acceptance, and inclusion. We co-create our sacred family, our sacred community, and our unified, individualized expression of the one. And only love is real. Every single answer is more love, not less. Every single experience needs more love, not less. I am happy to reveal truth and to support this amazing time on our planet. I encourage each of us to take back our power of the 13 and be the magical beings that we are intended to be. And thank you, all you beautiful people, for watching, and each of us that is speaking here. I love you very much. I thank you for being part of this.
Thank you so much, Camille. And there will be more. Again, we can only say so much in a few minutes, but we will have breakout sessions during the month of April. So you'll get to hear more from each of the speakers to go even deeper into this light and this love. And one of the things that Camille mentioned is our bodies. And I'm feeling our bodies are processing a lot and integrating a lot. So I feel like if we just get up for 30 seconds and just shake your body and just give your body a little space and energy, a little bit, 30-second dance break to integrate and to feel and to just receive. Yes, and Shaliana has her beautiful drum. Thank you.
Shake it out, come on.
Oh, I wish I could hear your drum, Shaliana.
Not coming out.
Yes, thank you, everyone. I just wanted to do a quick little bit because our bodies are receiving so much and they need a break as well. They need to integrate as well.
Drum, Sophia, did the drum not come through?
A little bit, but not a lot.
Isn't it interesting? The sound just doesn't seem to travel through the live. It's very fascinating to me.
It is. So the next beautiful energy we're going to connect to is Christine Powers. She's a world-class soprano, a master energy worker and intuitive, and also the founder of the Philosopher's Camp, which awakens and empowers planetary activators, which is certainly needed right now. So happy to have Christine here with us.
Thank you. So I keep hearing something, so I'm just going to have to do it. You may know it as Robert Plant, but you may also know it as Gaia. So, come with me, my loves, to the sea of love. I want to tell you how much I love you. So, sea and mountain where I am. Let me paint for you where I stand. I am in the Adirondack Mountains of New York, on Iroquois and Algonquin land. And behind me through this window is 70 miles of open layers of 9, 10, 11 layers of mountains to the high peaks to the north, directly north. And I come to you from a place of love. This is our enlightenment hut, which my husband built so I could come and breathe There's so many words we could say. But what I know is that everything is in order. As I stand here and I've been taking in the beautiful, just the beautifulness, the birds have been coming to life, which is an exquisite gift because we still have snow on the ground. And the trees are gently swaying. The sky is cloudy, but the sun poked through, and we're entering the in-between time as the sun begins to set. And that's where we are. I am in the in-between time. I have a gift of knowing potentiality. A few years ago, when we were moving to the mountains from a suburban lifestyle, everything we owned burned in a catastrophic fire. And it was the greatest gift of freedom of my life, because paradigms and beliefs and the shoulds dissolved in an instant. And when I scanned the horizon, it was wide open. And because life had broken all the rules, I no longer felt obligated to live by them. Now, that was a state of grace. And I fell out of it. I'm human. And so here it comes again. It's like this slow moving fire, but it's for all of humanity. And what I know is with every breath, I recreated a new reality after that fire here on this land. And we have that opportunity now. And that we also are sitting in the eye of the storm. That all is well. And all has always been well. And all will always be well. And I'm on my journey, you're on your journey. And for right now, when I scan that horizon, we're walking singularly, but then by twos, and then by fours, and then by eights. It's really a beautiful time of great relief, of great juiciness. And everything that I know, I'm taught over and over again every day, living in this beautiful, pristine mountains. So I share that with you. The invitation to weave the dream with every breath together. Thanks, Sophia.
Thank you, Christine. And thank you for pointing out that this is grace for us all. It may look interesting and it can be triggering, yet it is grace and we get to choose. So thank you.
Thank you.
Our next beautiful space is going to be entered by Beata Akua. He's a master in the higher realms and extraterrestrials, DNA activation, remote healing, and he's here to support spiritual leaders in reaching their higher selves so they can be at their highest potential.
Thank you, Sophia. Can you hear me?
I can.
Oh, thank you. I want to thank everybody first for everything that they have said so far, and I resonate with all of you, especially with my beautiful wife of Lemuria, Tricia McCannon. We're going to be speaking tomorrow. So I'm going to simplify what I had to say within the 5 minutes that we have, and I have a timer going on here. So this is the shift that we've all been waiting for as a human race, where the Mother Earth is healing, and now we have an opportunity to a new beginning for everybody. So I want to talk about meditation. And there are 3 things that I keep in mind when I do my meditation. And one of them is faith in the past, hope in the future, and fear. So what I do is I get rid of faith in the past, because everything that I know about the past is through books, either through the Bible or through, all of us have learned about things in the past through many, many books. And once we get rid of that, then we go to the next level, which is getting rid of the future, because the hope for the future is we are waiting for something to happen, and hopefully something good. So I took some notes so I won't get off track. Once we get rid of faith and hope, all we have left is fear. And fear is the key to enter that blank meditative space where we have no attachments to the past or to the future, as we know them, as we have learned them. In this space of the now is where we ask to find out what is it that we're here on earth to do as the avatars that we are. And and this is the space where we're going to create the world that we always wish to have. Remember that sorry, hold on one second. I know that what I just said is very controversial, and many of you are thinking, it's like, what is he talking about? What I'm saying is that by letting go of the faith and hope is simply letting go of a past that may have happened, and it's letting go everything that we know, and only then is when the universe will reveal what is actually true. That is my point. In this state of mind of meditation is what really it has helped me so much to create the world as we know it, and everything that is happening resonates with my plan on Earth. As, I don't know if I make myself clear or not. I think I shuffled my words a little bit, but hopefully I make my point across. I also want to add that this is also a time to get in touch with nature as a whole, get in touch with all the creatures that live on the land, all the creatures that live in the ocean, all the creatures that live in the sky, become one with everything. I'm able to listen to the birds and the insects. There's a sound that we hear at night that sounds like a zzz sound. And just remember that sound is what snails make when they go from the leaf, from the upper part of the leaf, and they crawl to the underside of the leaf. That beautiful sound is just nature at its best, and that's my message, to connect with nature in every aspect. Thank you, Sophia.
Thank you.
Half of all my words, but I think you guys got the message.
Yes, and the chickens seconded everything you said.
Yeah, I have lots of people. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. And then next we're going to go to Marsha Wald. She's a gifted healer and coach who focuses on numerology, feng shui, and Reiki to enrich others to live a life of limitless greatness.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
I can.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Thank you, Sophia, for creating this awesome group meeting, divine appointment today as a 444. It's a very powerful day where we're setting foundation, structure, realigning. So at the start of 2020, the latter part of 2019, I got this vision that 2020, we're going to manifest our visions. And on January 5th, I got a premonition of this pandemic. At the time, I thought it would have just been an earthquake or something, But as I was actually at work and I felt the urge to go into the presence of God, and went into my office, and it was perfect. And I felt everything, and I started to cry, and I saw the pain. I felt it and I saw it. And I called a prayer partner of mine to pray it through. And I don't know how long it took, but finally I felt it break. And now fast forward to March, and this has happened. And I am so grateful that I listened when God spoke, and obeyed, and had him use me as a vessel to bring forth and pray for the prayers and that needed to come forth. And so getting the idea to create a vision, the first thing that we need to do is build new structure. And with this new, what we're experiencing right now is it's almost like an earthquake, breaking everything up, breaking it all up, stirring the pot, unraveling, and then the calm. And so right now we're in this calm, and we're feeling what it feels like to actually be still. And so as we're still and the earth is still, now is the time that we can start building the right structures, the strong structures. There is a saying that the foolish man builds his house on the sand, but we are now called upon to use our wisdom. And so there's this Hawaiian chant that I love. I won't sing it because my voice doesn't go, but it's Eomai Kaikelu na Maye, Ona Miauna Ekemele, Eomai, Eomai, Eomai. It says, grant us the wisdom that filters from above. And so now we're asking for the wisdom to filter from above so that we're able to build the structures. And so the right structure that's going to carry us through to the next dimension. Because I was reading somewhere where it says dimensions are what you don't typically see. And so we are now needing the guidance, the wisdom from above, so that what the Holy Spirit desires for us to create on this earth, we will be shown, and then we start to move forward. So what intuitively I see for this new horizon, first, it has brought us to a place of humility, where we now see that we are the one. There's a Hebrew prayer that says, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Ekbak, Hear, O Israel, or God is our one, we are one. And so that oneness that we are experiencing right now, that we're being pulled together to create, because I've been looking at the news and I haven't heard of any wars. It seems that everything has ceased, and we have actually got to experience world peace, as the beauty pageants usually ask and say, world peace. So we're experiencing that oneness right now. And so it's that place of humility. And our other gift now is the reality check. Now we as an individual need to come to the reality, like, are we doing what we were really called to do? Are you happy with your life at this point? If at this point, 2020, your life ended, would you be able to say, yes, I did it all, I experienced it all, I enjoyed it all? So now my gift to you is humility. We are one, to remember that, and the reality check, that now is the time to do our life assessment and be gentle with yourself in this time and walk in love. Aloha.
Aloha. Thank you so much, Marsha. Next, we're going to go to Lauren Purifoy. She's intuitive channel of harmonic codes, vibrational medicine, earth keeper, a stone medicine practitioner, and she's here to bring life into balance with us and Mother Earth, which is so needed right now.
Thank you, Sophia. I am so honored to be a part of this collective, and I've really resonated and been touched by what everyone has shared. And days ago, I had an idea of what I was going to speak about today, which was what many are talking about, the new earth and coming and more into community and balance with the earth and restructuring all of this, which I definitely still hold that vision and have for several decades at least. But what has come through since last night, I find my work is always a reflection of my life and what I'm often going through in the moment. And so what's been really present, besides all the waves of feelings and emotions and clearing grief for myself and the collective, the call from Gaia to connect in a more intimate and intentional way, which is a big piece of the work that I do and something that I feel called to connect other people to. But sovereignty, our own individual sovereignty is what is really up for me right now. Looking at the ways where for myself I have compromised through belief systems that I have accepted or have been, I do a lot of epigenetic work also, so lineage healing, but seeing these structures that aren't truly a part of who I am and the path of being in our heart. So I've taken practices of really limiting even more than normal what I'm allowing into my energy, into my surroundings, into my home of myself by coming into the truth of my heart. So rather than being in the mind, and I can easily get swept up in these energies of, even if it might be something that I believe in, but really coming to what does my heart tell me? What is that truth? And I truly believe that this is our way forward, coming from our heart, coming from that path of love, of community with all beings, and coming into balance with Gaia and making this transition together. So I feel really honored to be a part of this and an earth keeper and a way shower, and yet I'm very much in my own process right along with this dismantling of what my agreements are that aren't truly who I am. And so just encourage everyone to find that still point, to find that pause, to connect with the earth as much as possible, seeing the simplicity and the beauty in that many have already touched on. Fortunately seeing the awakening in the springtime, but noticing on my walks, I'm blessed to live in an area within Portland that has a lot of nature and a lot of trees, which is one of the allies that I work with most. But noticing that people are engaging with each other as we walk past one another, and people are smiling and being more present. So the separation that has been so much a part of these structures is breaking apart. And it's so critical for us to come back into this place of balance. So thank you so much for creating this space and allowing us to share and connect with one another. I send you all a lot of love and blessings for this awakening.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Lauren. And thank you for, again, bringing it back to, we have personal responsibility to take this time to look within, to choose to connect with nature and to connect with our divinity, because that's what we're here for. Next, we're going to go to Rebecca Marina. She's a gifted channel, medium, psychic, and she opens power portals all over the globe. She's come to us through a storm right now, so hopefully her connection is still available. Let's see.
I don't see you yet.
Yes. Okay. we may have missed her. So that's perfect. I'm going to go to Jennifer then. Jennifer is the founder of The Wide Awakening. She teaches people to embodying the new operating system for humanity and to master the physics of flow. And she's actually the one who asked me how I could be inclusive. So she's responsible for part of this. So thank you for that, Jennifer.
Wow, I created my own heaven on earth right here.
Of course.
Thank you, Sophia. Glad to see we're all in this together. Just love the purity of the humility and the love in what's being shared thus far. It's just really sweet and touching. I feel as though, you know, our gathering, not just here, but with everyone collectively who's listening right now and who will listen, who's making the cosmic phone call, that we have the exact conversation that we're having right now. We're somehow all connecting and transcending space and time, and we're all here right now having this beautiful conversation that comes at this time of great change from many different angles. It can be heard many different ways. I wrote a lot while everyone was sharing. And in the end, there's only what there is to say that would serve. And so I think what wants to come through is just this idea. I think there are some words that people have shared. One is sovereignty. I heard a couple of people say that. It's a huge time of sovereignty, but I wanted to dive a little deeper into that concept. If each of us was the dream of consciousness, God's good idea, you know, creation's, you know, manifestation, if each of us is a divine child of an infinite universe, then all of creation saw what was possible before we got here. It looked at every life we've ever been in. It looked at every skill set and thing we've ever done in any lifetime. It looked at all of our natural propensities and our personality traits. And in a moment, knowing full well that we would be here in a time of great change, all of those natural propensities and skill sets would be of value somehow. And so to say that, you know, you don't matter, this is a time where you get to realize that the universe thought you were a good idea at a time where the decks are being cleared. You're going to have to be a leader that looks like every other kind of leader, but you are a piece of the puzzle of heaven on earth, as is everyone here right now. You know, we're each this beautiful piece of the puzzle. Or if we imagine almost like an instrument in the symphony. But the symphony, you know, we've been warming up for the symphony. There are some ideas that this is an emergency or a crisis, when in actuality, we've been through the preparation for this for eons, and in actuality, it's not even a preparation for this, because even this is a preparation for something else. So it really all is in flow. There's nothing wrong. And this is not a time of fixing something that's broken. Which brings me to something else that, you know, as everyone was speaking, I just felt so called to say. We're made of the same atoms that the cosmos are. We're made of the atoms of nature. We are not above her. We are of her. We are that. And since we are that, this is not a time to try to fix what's happening. This is a time to actually relish and dive into. I was witness to a few interesting conversations about, oh my God, we have to end this. And I thought, gosh, I don't want this to end. This is like the greatest cosmic reset of all time. It's like the mother of all resets. Not that we all haven't had our personal resets, but what an amazing time to understand that, and in this, you know, to understand that we're not ascending, we're actually descending. We're descending our greater selves onto this planet. We're descending our multidimensional self. We're taking the time to actually remember that we're part of nature. Nature flows with herself. Nature always finds a way. Nature is constantly creating upon creation. Nature doesn't blame or point fingers or do any of that. Nature just appreciates the path of most flow and always finds her way. And we're of that, and we've been out of sync with that. So the cool thing is, just like other people have said, as I'm walking, I'm noticing how much people are smiling. As you know, there might be social distancing. I think it's more bodily distancing. I actually think that we're more connected than we ever have been. The conversations I'm having now are so incredibly beautiful. So those beautiful conversations would not have happened. So I don't feel more distance, I feel closer. And so it's a time to kind of realize that nature, which we are, so it's funny to talk about nature because it's us, you know, talk about nature like it's out there. It actually is us. So nature has this amazing way when something's a little bit off of kicking that little thing in the butt. And we are getting a beautiful, incredible, cosmic, wonderful, divine butt kicking right now, where we have the opportunity to remember that we've, you know, to remember that we forgot that we love each other, to remember that we forgot that we're all a virus. What a divine equalizer. Who cares what color, what creed, what size, where you came from, where you were born, what age? Nobody cares. The virus doesn't care, and that's nature. And so there's something about coming back to all of that. Yeah, I mean, everyone has said so much. It's so beautiful. And isn't it interesting, the quietness of the polarity? The polarity, you know, it's just so interesting. And the other piece of this is we're not busy. And although at some point there's going to be a new normal, and there's going to be return of some habits for sure, people that might not be in this conversation, but we all, you all, Sophia and everyone, have the opportunity to be a visionary and take the future trajectory that we're creating now, all of the things that we're noticing to be love about this time of great slate deck clearing, you know, take this time that we've imagined what could be possible because we're witnessing it in the clarity of the air, in the oceans. The babies that are being born are being catalyzed into leadership because of what's happening right now. They're getting skill sets that we don't have. And what's beautiful is right now what we get to do is we get to be the keepers of the possible future as we go back into a new normal where a lot of people are going to forget. And I just want to activate the idea that that parallel universe where a new reality, where a new operating system is being created, we get to embody that and live that every day and shine that out of our 75 trillion cells so that the world around us understands when they forget again that the world can be different, and to be a relentless champion of that understanding of that future, just a relentless champion of that alignment to the trajectory we're being redirected to. So mahalo, dear Sophia, for all that you do, and just total love for everybody here.
Thank you. Yes. And what if we now, all of us, choose to be that relentless champion for that?
Exactly.
Yes. So next, we're going to Kakoa Enomoto. She's a native Hawaiian cultural practitioner of Oli chants, hula, and she's a retired 40-year newspaper woman, and she's really about helping establish self-sufficient communities. And how perfect is that?
Aloha mai kako. That means greetings, everyone. And so I would like to offer from the Maui uplands where I live, 3 oli or chants. They seek inspiration, protection, cleansing, and healing respectively. Like song and mantras, these oli generate vibrations that create a frequency of healing. Noho ana kia kuaikana hele hele. Iala ia ike ki ohu ohu e taua koko. E nā kino maluita lani malue hoi. E ho'ulu mai ana o laka I kona mau kahu. O mako no. Lele uli e, lele vai e, he uli, he vai. Lele au ike au e, kane me hane o ne helani, ne he iapi kane kalani alama, he mu oia. He mu ka aiku, he mu ka ai a, he mu ka akula, he mu ka paani, he mu kokolana I koko pua ai koko ilio I koko kanakamake, he mu oia. Eli kapu, eli noa. Ya e noa tahonua. Ai mano I none. O kapue o kanimai ana o kona lua kini. Ina e ke kamali I hiki lele na ohana e. E ko e ke kia. Pau e lono e ua ola e. So thank you for the privilege of allowing me to be with you today. And you know, I was up until 2 o'clock-ish writing what I was going to say, but I'm going to read to you from Hawaii Revised Statutes, or our laws here in Hawaii. It's chapter 5 section 7.5. And I'm reading from my my computer here. So this is the section on Aloha Spirit. Aloha Spirit is the coordination of mind and heart within each person. It brings each person to the self. Each person must think and emote good feelings to others. In the contemplation and presence of the life force, Aloha, the following Laula Loa or acronym may be used. So this is the acronym for Aloha. A is for Akahai, meaning kindness to be expressed with tenderness. L is for Lokahi, meaning unity to be expressed with harmony. Olu Olu, meaning agreeable to be expressed with pleasantness. Ha'a, meaning humility to be expressed with modesty. Ahonui, meaning patience to be expressed with perseverance. These are traits of character that express the charm, warmth, and sincerity of Hawaii's people. It was the working philosophy of Native Hawaiians and was presented as a gift to the people of Hawaii. Aloha is more than a word of greeting or farewell or salutation. Aloha means mutual regard and affection and extends warmth in caring with no obligation in return. Aloha is the essence of relationships in which each person is important to every other person for collective existence. Aloha means to hear what is not said, to see what cannot be seen, and to know the unknowable. In exercising their power on behalf of the people and in fulfillment of their responsibilities, obligations, and service to the people, the legislature, governor, lieutenant governor, executive officers of each department, The Chief Justice, Associate Justices, and Judge of the Appellate, Circuit, and District Courts may contemplate and reside with the life force and give consideration to the Aloha Spirit. So I want you all to know that what I just read, you can access very easily by going to just inputting Hawaii Revised Statutes Aloha Spirit, and it'll come up. And I want to thank you, Sophia, for allowing me to speak on behalf of my people. I live here at the 2,500-foot elevation of Haleakala volcano, and it's a 10,000-foot dormant volcano. And I live on a 1-acre Hawaiian homestead that is replete with papayas and lilikoi or passion fruit, kubochak pumpkins, bananas, apple trees, and we have a rabbit and a dog and a cat. And yeah, I'm just, very blessed to live here. And I did want to mention that I met Sophia on March 11th, so not even a month ago. I was yelling on the beach, and I was trying to get people to fill my 6-person canoe because I only had 2 people in the canoe. She came over and she sat in seat number 2, and we got out there about 15 minutes, and I made her move to seat number 3 because she's a powerful woman. And that's a kind of what we call the engine room, or where power people sit. And she's a wonderful athletic young woman. And yeah, we went out in the water, and we splashed around and talked with each other and shared our spirits. And so thank you so much for inviting me today, Sophia. Mahalo.
Thank you, Kakoa. I felt it was important to share that aloha spirit, and someone who really has the Indigenous spirit that we all require to return to as humanity. So thank you for being with us.
It's my pleasure.
And the last to share, we'll actually have Shayliana come back to bookend the energy and the bowls. But before that, Victoria Moonfire is going to share. She's a womb priestess and an empathic channel for the Divine Mother, and she transmits frequencies with sound and song, and is a channel for the Divine Maui as well, to bring everyone into their sovereign divinity.
Victoria Moonfire, you're on mute. So if you want to just unmute yourself first.
Oh, yes, take 2. Thank you, Sophia. And thank you so much, Kakoa. I'm still kind of gathering myself, thus I forgot to turn my mic on, because when I hear the Hawaiian chants, the Oli and the Mele, it just brings me to tears. It goes through me. And so the perfect segue is I would like to invite you all in this portal time to go with me to the future, to go across the horizon, the new horizon. And remember, do you remember how all of these codes that we brought, and these hopes and dreams, and our unique codes that we brought for the new earth, how they came about with so much grace and ease and magic. And I remember how we all remembered that we all really were all indigenous, that we were native to the land, that we were the land. And I remember we started to live in reciprocity with Gaia, with Mother Earth, and we started to live in reciprocity with each other. And there was a particular group of people, the Rainbow Tribe, the people who were here from the stars, that remembered, that had spent so much of their life looking up, hoping the spaceship would pick them up. And they stopped looking for that. And they brought all of that star self into them, and all of those codes, and they brought them fully into their body. And together they built the new earth. And I invite you now to just breathe deeply into your belly, your pico, your belly button, your womb, your hara. And send an umbilical root down and down and down through the layers of the earth into the radiant darkness of the womb of Gaia. Feeling how you are so held and loved and completely nourished. Then bring that energy up, bring it up and up through your body. And then see a silver starlight DNA cord going up through the crown of your head, out through Earth's atmosphere, and through galaxies and womb holes, and on to the womb of the Great Mother, she who birthed all realities, all dimensions. She who birthed your unique star soul. And I kind of like to see that DNA cord like a big sliding board. So take that star being that you are and slide it back down, fully connecting in your body. As I sing codes of New Earth into the field, connect with the unique codes that you carry.
Thank you so much. And as we have that filter through our body and our cells, as we start to go on to our days, perhaps to other meditations, perhaps with our families, dinner, whatever is in front, please remember we're born for such a time as this. So take this time, this gift, to look at what is coming up for you, to look at the gift, and to also know the gift that you are. We're here to show up as love, and we wanted to gift this transmission for humanity and to ask each and every one of you, will you co-create the new horizon? If you've registered for this, you'll receive the recording as well as the breakout interviews during the month of April. And again, thank you so much for showing up here. And we will, Liana, she is going to bring back her bowls and the energy to close out, and then we are complete. Much love and gratitude for each and every one of you, whether you showed up live or video, or if this energy is just reverberating to you. Much love and aloha to all of you.
And thank you, Sophia. I want to really say a big thank you to you for creating this sacred space for us to come together and share from our hearts. And for anyone, you know, I know that a lot of us here, we kind of live in this, I would like to say, a little bubble, because we're so connected and we've worked, if you want to call it worked. We've had quite a few of our own little Kundalini awakenings, or, you know, reconnection to source moments, which a lot of people would call losing everything. So what I'd like to just share with anyone who might not necessarily understand this bubble, will be like, what is going on? I'm not quite sure I can really believe in what they're saying. I'd like to just offer this in saying that one of the things that every single one of us has is a choice. And you have a choice to choose the future that you want for yourself now. And the future is now. So notice for yourself, are you in alignment with the love, which is the truth? Or are you playing in all the illusion of separation and the fear, drama, control matrix? Just recognize. And it's not wrong or bad if you're playing here or you're, you know, putting your focus here, but recognize when you are, and then ask yourself, how can I return to love in this moment? What would it take for me to return to love in this moment? Because when we say return to love, what we're really saying is return to you. Because I've heard a lot of people speaking that I've been researching and everything, and a lot of people are saying the only thing that's going to get us through this is a miracle. And so what I want to end off is a song called We Are the Miracle. And it's just a simple little song, and you can sing it in your head if you want to, or you can use it as a mantra. It's like a mantra song. I'm going to play the bowls with it as well. But really recognizing that that miracle is you. That miracle is me. That miracle is us. If we take the word illness, take the I out and put we in, we have wellness, right? So, and if we look at immunity, we've got unity in I'm unity, immunity. So recognize that this is a collective Kundalini activation. And Kundalini activates with the crown. No wonder it's called the coronavirus, right? So it's all about activating the Kundalini and recognizing that we are that already and being the miracle that you are. So I'm going to end off with this song called We Are the Miracle. I am the miracle. You are the miracle. We are the miracle of love. I am the miracle. You are the miracle. We are the miracle of love. I am the miracle. You are the miracle. We are the miracle of love. Take a deep breath in. Hold it for a few seconds, 4 seconds, 3, 2, 1, and let it go. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you so much for joining us. And may we each acknowledge the miracle of love that we are. Much love and aloha.